A brief history of money. You, I, everyone loves money. Everyone wants to make money. No one wants to spend money. But we want to own every single thing in the world. Money is one of the most discussed subject matter, yet it is one of the subject matters where many people still seem to be very ignorant about it. We are going to cover the history of money and what money is today. Money is anything that's generally accepted by a group of people for the exchange of goods and services, and it can also be used as a store of value. Now, long before paper money and digital currencies, what was money? Many people relied on the barter system of trading. That means money was in the commodities that people were exchanging, and sooner or later the barter system was not very sustainable because people will not always have need for the things you want to exchange with them. As such, the earliest civilization relied on stones, special stones on cowries as a form of money. However, for anything that should have value, there are certain features that must follow. Some of the features would be scarcity, durability, and most of these forms that were adopted as money did not really meet this criteria. But one thing that has outlasted generations has been gold and many precious metals. Over generations, over centuries, people have seen gold to be a store of value simply because it is durable. In that case, it cannot perish, and also it is scarce. That means it's not very easy for you to come by gold, and it involves a lot of process for those who are mining it to be able to refine pure gold. Now, because of these two major features, earlier civilization adopted gold as a store of value and as a form of money. Back in the day, in 1971, the President of the United States, Richard Nixon, created an economic policy in which the US dollar was supposed to be convertible with gold. This created a form of money, paper currency, that is backed by something that the world sees as a store of value. Sooner after that period, the US could no longer maintain the currency convertibility between their US dollar notes and gold, and they abolished or they cancelled the convertibility of gold to dollars. This was the very first time the currencies we use today, which we call fiat, existed without having any intrinsic value. So if you ask anyone today, fiat is a currency that does not have any value in itself. Fiat is only seen as valuable because the government says it is valuable. It is not tied to anything that has value. It is not connected to anything of value. This is just a brief history of money, where we have come from barter system of trading. We moved to cowries, we moved to gold, and then we moved to paper currency. Right now, we're in a different era where we rely on digital currencies. And here we are talking about Bitcoin and other forms of cryptocurrencies. Wrapping everything up, we've actually come a very long way, right from earlier civilization where barter was a system of trading. We've moved to cowries and gold and the creation or invention of paper money. Now we're in an era where digital currencies and cryptocurrencies are used. All in all, just know what money is for you. That money should have certain key features, which is it should be generally accepted as a medium of exchange of goods and services. It should be able to serve this feature as a store of value. Many currencies today, especially fiat, are getting aggressively devalued. You should know that fiat are not valuable in themselves. They are only valuable because the government says so. For those who are from nations such as Nigeria, you realize that when the government decides that certain paper notes are not going to be adopted as currencies anymore, they become immediately worthless. That is because these paper notes don't have value in themselves. So taking long term to anything that can preserve wealth, don't just store your money in fiat, store your money in something you know has value to preserve wealth.